Cause he want a lot. Yeah, life I've been with me and back to the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, life I've been with midnight through the city. I've been going through some things, trying to get my mind right. Push the bucket to the lip, push that mission to the finish. Gotta get the full control, gotta get my mind right. Yeah, flashing on these high beams, you won't stay beside me, even if I'm blinded.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on, man? We got a packed house in here today, man. Look, hey, like my guy Brad Harris said, here we go. E2, let me hear your Dak rendition of the "Here We Go," bro. Let me hear
Okay, here we go.
it. How you doing this Friday, bro?
I'm all right, brother. I'm just glad it's the weekend. It's been a long week. I'm ready
Yeah,
for the
that's
draft next week. I ordered my draft hat today. Hopefully it'll come.
what.
Hopefully it'll come by the draft.
Hey, bro, man, you better than me, bro. Hey, look, I have been boycotting Cowboys gear for I don't know how many years, man. I just been buying content creator stuff. Like I
I
got some
haven't
Maroon stuff.
I haven't
I
bought
get,
any jerseys or anything. I just like I get the draft
you
hats.
love the hat.
That's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a tradition. It's a tradition. You know, I've been getting a draft hat since we went to Dallas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
So do you have like a shrine for your draft hats and stuff?
I did when I had my man cave, but when I get my new place, I'm definitely gonna have them lined up on the shelf.
Yeah, definitely. Look. You see, I got mine. On the wrong one. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, y'all see, I got the Mark Holmes shelf back there with my hats and stuff back on that
Oh
back
yeah,
there. So yeah, bro, I had to, start my shrine over here. The only thing that's kind of missing over here, I got to get a Floyd Mayweather. I get Floyd Mayweather and somebody else. I want to get like an Emmett, something Emmett by itself. You know what I'm saying? So, we working on things over here. You know what I'm saying? Like super chats and cash apps, all of that stuff definitely help our channels, guys. So support the content creators. So
Definitely.
we
Did you
have
see
some
the?
news, right?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, we going to ask me about? Did I see that the case was dismissed? The
Yeah.
whole Dak Prescott, was
Yeah.
that's what you had on? So you seem like you got some notes. What you want? Like, I'll let you lead off with that.
Oh no, I was just I didn't really read into it, but I just heard that it was, they were interviewing him, they were talking to him. I guess they were getting some final conclusions together on what transpired, but I figured it would end like that. Dak's my guy. I knew he'd be exonerated.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be. To be honest with you, I knew what it was when it came to the coverage of it and how that came about because it never was a major story. If you look on it, wasn't a major story on the major networks. They kind of
No,
just, what I'm saying, only one radio station kind of ran with it, which isn't surprising knowing the things now, and it is what it is, and but nobody's going to really apologize for the things that they did, and what I'm saying, some of the damage is probably done with some of the relationships and far as that locker room goes.
yeah,
I can't imagine being a player and really wanting to, what I'm saying, like have people interview me from over there. You know what I'm saying?
and it's embarrassing because you trying to focus on football and it's just all that stuff going on in the background. Like I can only imagine, like what these football players go through, man. I mean, it's a lot, man. It's that celebrity limelight, especially and it's 10 times magnified when you wear the star on your helmet.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. So, you know, so it's like, where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, David Moore said on Twitter 46 minutes ago, Dak Prescott said negotiations on an extension haven't begun. So, hey, I was going to
You know what's
ask,
gonna happen?
what's
You
going
know
to
what's gonna
happen?
happen? He gonna get mid season. He gonna start balling, and the Jones is gonna be like, "Hurry up and pay him! Hurry up and pay him!" They gonna be scrambling. Get the
Well,
paperwork.
it's funny you say that because see, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Really?
And I'm gonna tell you why I don't. Because John Machota came out with something today. I think it was him about a quote that Stephen Jones when he was talking about Trey Lance. So there's a couple of things. I'm actually just gonna kind of switch over to. I'm gonna switch over to. I'm still trying to figure stuff out, bro. But let me see if I could. Let me see if I could share my screen real fast. Give me 1 second, bro.
Uh huh.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna share. I'll just read the tweets, bro. I don't even want to get fancy. Uh, Cowboys. EVP Stephen Jones on 105.3 The Fan on QB Trey Lance. He's done nothing but excite us even more as he's worked here all of last season and in the offseason in terms of work ethic, his skill level. We're very pleased. He exhibits everything you would think a top five, top 10 pick would exhibit. Trey exhibits similar type work ethic to Dak. And then it said, like, to Dak Prescott. Obviously, Trey is a really good athlete. And the most important thing is his arm. He's got a very live arm, very strong arm. He continues to improve his footwork and his accuracy. So when I read that, and that kind of leads to our next subject, Stephen Jones talking up Trey Lance, bro. Uh, uh, here we go. Here we go.
So why it didn't work out at 49ers?
That's a good
I mean,
question.
ain't Shanahan supposed to be this offensive guru guy? I mean, I just I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a I'm not gonna say anything negative about Trey Lance. I think he could be good. I don't know what his um, issues were coming into the league, but and why it didn't work out with the 49ers and why he couldn't beat out Sam Darnold and Allen and Jonathan Allen. I don't know. I don't know.
I can. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the few things that Trey Lance does do good that does excite me. Number one, he has live legs. You know what I'm saying? So if you're talking about that
Oh,
in
he can
comparison
move. He
to,
definitely can
yeah,
move.
yeah, when you talk about that in comparison to Dak, I think Jesse Holly said probably one of the funniest things ever about Dak. He said he took off, the black side took off, but like the white side is what got caught. That had me rolling one day.
Oh my
You know,
God.
he said something like that. And Dak is very, very good at getting around, eluding pressure and stuff like that, and then being able to toss the ball down the field. But when it comes to being able to run, what I'm saying, like he used to be able to run on the read option and stuff, like something has happened where I don't know if he's gotten too old, if he's gotten too
Hmm.
heavy, if his
I don't
hips
think it's
gotten
that.
too tight, or what I'm saying, he did break his leg and stuff like
When
that.
you
But
break your ankle like that, that's like not euphoria because euphoria is good, but when you look at like something like that, it's like deja vu, right? So
mm,
imagine him running the ball, and it's like, okay, is somebody gonna tackle me? This is gonna happen again. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like he's kind of like nervous because I know I look at myself in that situation. I'm like, because I know I would be. I know I would. I wouldn't have the same, pep in my step or the same confidence to run like I used to. Because you go back and look what he did in Mississippi State, he was running his butt off, but he's not doing that now.
yeah. Oh, shout out to a couple people in the chat. You know what I'm saying? We got our day ones. We got the ladies. We got Lola. I know I seen Joe in there somewhere. My guy, Game
Those
Time
ladies
Brian, my
night.
brother. My brother, Game Time Brian. I'm gonna miss you guys next week, bro. But hey, Daddy Dearest, man, I got to go out to Tampa for this cheer competition. But I'm going to be watching the draft from all the way in Tampa. And shout out to my brother Mark Holmes, big brother Mark Holmes,
Yes,
aka the
sir.
Godfather. I guess our YouTube dad. They got Rich
That's our
Dad for that.
YouTube. Yeah,
YouTube
that's our
dad.
YouTube
What's up, YouTube dad? What's up, Mark? How you doing
dad.
out there? What I'm saying, Mark. You welcome to join if you want. You know what I'm saying. I'll throw a link in the chat, and we can talk a little bit of draft. Not link in the chat, but I'll throw a link out to you. All right. So yeah, man. So it's another thing that Stephen Jones talked about with John Machota. And give me 1 second as I sent Mark a link if he wants to join. Uh so they talked about the defensive philosophy. And I think that they said something along the lines of being more of a three backer team. So in your mind, do you feel like that means we're gonna, probably draft a linebacker more like a Sam role or something like that?
And you mean like try to switch the defense like a 3-4 style?
Well, I think more like a 4-3, but I think more of a Sam backer in the 3-4.
Yeah, I because if you look at Mike Zimmer and the type of linebackers he's got, look at the setup that he had when he was the Vikings coach, when he had Anthony Barr and he had didn't he have Kendricks back then?
Yeah,
He had
I believe so.
Barr, Kendricks, and who was the other one? And he did in the way that he played Daniil Hunter. Like Daniil Hunter was like almost like a outside. No, I'm sorry, not Daniil Hunter. Everson Griffin.
Okay.
Remember Mister No Blinks?
Yeah, and that's also why in the draft I've been talking about like getting, you know, I've been talking about getting an edge. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I've
I
been
want
talking
to.
about getting an
We
edge.
we need another edge, man, because you lost your backups. You lost Dorrance Armstrong. You need that guy to come in there to play that cleanup, right? And that's what both him and Fowler did. Now, granted, they're not starters in my opinion, but they're pretty good backups, and you need some guys to take that role because Micah and Lawrence can't do it by themselves. You got to have a healthy rotation. That's the
Yeah,
reason why our
absolutely.
defensive line was always pretty decent, in my opinion, because we always had a healthy rotation of guys.
Pause. No diddy.
No did
No diddy.
a healthy rotation.
A healthy rotation. All diddy. All diddy.
Yes,
So like
all
we're gonna
did.
open up the Q&A right now. I had the defensive philosophy pop up, but yeah, my guy, Game Time Bryant, asked me a great question. He asked a great question. How good is Chop? If you had the opportunity to watch Chop Robinson from Penn State. I know that you were, what I'm saying, in class and stuff like that, but sometimes you get a glimpse of players and stuff like that. So I
I
kind of
looked
want to
him up a
see.
little bit. I heard he was a little raw, and
Okay,
I heard that he had like I want to say like a high to mid second round.
that's about
Um,
right.
he was slated to go to the Buccaneers.
Okay. All right. So what if I told you that Chop Robinson is because all of the same things that you said, besides the mid to second round, all of that sounds like who? Because he ran the
Yes,
4.4. He ran the 4.4 at the combine. Big, tall, strong dude. That's Micah Parsons,
yes.
bro.
Oh, it is
Micah.
Michael.
Yeah. Can we went to Penn State. So the difference is that Micah played backer and Chop played strictly edge. I think Penn State realized with how Dallas was using.
But
With
where we're at in the second round, though, at 56, do you think that he would even be there?
no, I don't think he'll be there. So I think that Chop should be in consideration for the first pick. So to answer
You
Brian's
don't think that's too
question,
much of a reach for the first
hell
round?
no. No, hell no. No, I don't think so. Chop is actually I think I have him as my third edge. I have Latu. No, I'm sorry. I have him as my fourth. Is my fourth edge or is he my third? So I have Verse, Latu. Yeah, and actually he might be my third. So I think he's my third edge.
Oh,
And I don't have
okay.
him far from Latu. I have Latu just depending on preference of scheme. If they want it to be more of a spill or more of a contain, I think Latu's a little bit better at the contain, and I think Chop is better if you want to spill because he's a guy with a high motor.
Yeah,
Uh, very, 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 very strong. Sorry, y'all. I've been drinking Pepsi. Look, you know how sometimes,
Pepsi is delicious.
hey, dog, you know how sometimes, like, you ain't drank nothing all day. Like, I was terrible with my water today. And the only thing, like, I was just like, hey, can you get me some Pepsi? So I've been sitting here, like, down in this Pepsi because I'm
And
thirsty
the
as hell.
and the
I
bubbles
just
give you that
it
little
bubbled
the
up.
bubbles coming up. Yeah. That's how it always be. But I like
Yeah.
it. I like it over Coke though because Coke's got a it's got a bitter aftertaste. Like Coke almost make you thirstier. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With
for sure.
Pepsi, it actually satisfies your thirst. That's how I feel.
Yes. All right. So Kendrick asked a question. Kendrick, not Kendrick Lamar, but Kendrick Thompson. Will Sam Williams start at some point in Zimmer defense?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's gonna have every opportunity to start.
He'll have the
Uh,
opportunity,
you have the opportunity,
I
yeah,
don't
because
I don't trust his um I don't trust his mentality to be a starter right now. He's got to show me something first.
yeah. I think Mozzie's gonna start, and I think Sam Williams is gonna start.
Oh yeah, because he ain't got nobody, and that's all we got.
Nah, but like the D Law has to start, and it just depends on where they play Micah. I don't think that's the one thing. The Cowboys have done a very good job of being quiet about what they're going to do defensively. Besides Steven coming out, and I'll actually read the quote from John Machota on what he actually said. John did an excellent job. God, he got all these DAC interviews today, but we're going to talk about what Steven talked about. So he said on 1035 The Fan, philosophically, I think we'll have more of a three linebacker system rather than a two linebacker and three safety system. I think the other thing is we'll probably look to be bigger and stronger in the middle. So it doesn't sound to me like with those quotes that they're looking at focusing on who's at the ends. So it sounds like they want linebacker. Sounds like we're talking about defensive tackle again, possibly, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Maybe we just got the wrong defensive tackle, but you ever see that meme where it's like the basketball coach Jim Boeheim and he's just pointing down, like almost like you gonna do what I tell you to do.
Yeah,
It's like you gonna play Mozzie Smith when I tell you to play Mozzie Smith because we drafted him. You play him, you got to draft him.
I think a
And
lot of it
so
is confidence too.
you think so?
Yeah, because I know with this Cowboys team, like you look at some of these guys, like for instance, you play sports, so you understand. If you don't get out there and do much, if you don't get out there and and you're not, so it's one thing to like correct somebody, but it's another thing to like say it in a way like, okay, look at Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was like a brother to these guys. Mike Zimmer ain't gonna be like that. Mike Zimmer gonna tell you what it is, and if you ain't doing right, even Micah, he not gonna baby Micah. He gonna be like, hey, you messing up, bro.
Yep,
This is and he gonna take him to the film room and show him this is what you did wrong, and this is what we're gonna correct. And I
absolutely,
like that. I like that, and I think that's going to be better for some of these players, especially a guy like Mozzie.
for sure. I like that too. He gonna cuss Mozzie ass out like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
True, big black. Oh my
So Brad Harris asked the question, and also, guys, I have Ben Larimore with PFF. He's going to come in. I'm gonna have him introduce himself. But Ben has been a wealth of knowledge through this draft process. He's going to be in here in about 7 minutes. He's going to stop by. Hopefully, I can get my guy landlord to stop by and we can talk a little bit. We could chop it up a little bit. Cause landlord, I was trying to get him on the. Oh, okay. He sent me his email, so I got landlord's email. So hopefully landlord stops by. That's my guy right there, man. If y'all don't know, landlord, landlord is that dude. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
landlord.
landlord is like one half of Migos, but a Cowboys content creator.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I'm saying? Like
That's a good example.
yeah, when landlord come on here, I'm putting on my cool glasses too, bro. Like I saved them for him. You know what I'm saying? They kind of crooked right now, but
Shit, I gotta go get mine now.
yeah, yeah. Let me put my cool guy glasses on. When I got these beats on, bro, it's really, really hard to. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I got my cool guy glasses on
now
today,
you now
baby.
you now you looking like Mike Thomas.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tomlin say, we looking for the pedigree of players. We look, we not running from the coaching. We ain't running from the coaching, baby.
Now, to answer Brad's question for the trade down thing,
Yeah.
this team is really like, I don't know. Well, the draft gurus, I should say, they love Tyler Guyton, but Tyler Guyton is raw, and I feel like, do you really think that Tyler Guyton can start at left tackle day one without having some time to?
Uh, are you asking me the question? Do I think he can
Yeah,
start?
yeah,
I think he can start because he's next to Tyler. And I think that we do have the tools in place. Like a lot of people will bring up Duke. Duke is one of the best at what he does, so he can kind of help prepare him, get his feet and his hips right, and then maybe we could scheme around that. And if they really like Guyton,
they do.
the process of Guyton didn't just start at the draft. That means they liked him from the Senior Bowl all the way through the combine, all the
Yeah,
way through whatever workouts they put him through, and they feel comfortable with putting him at the left tackle. So if we are to draft him, yes, I do think he can because I trust this team at drafting tackles, especially in the first round. Now
I
to
just
answer, go ahead.
oh, for my opinion on Brad, if Brad, I would say if both Tyler Guyton and Graham Barton are not there, they will more than likely trade back.
Yeah, and to answer Brad's question, I'm definitely team trade back just because I want a fourth round pick. I think it offers us the flexibility. When we don't have this fourth round pick, we might have to reach on a couple more positions. But if we get that fourth round pick, then it allows us to be a little bit more best player available, which I'm all about in this draft. Even with the picks, though, even with the picks as they are, I'm still BPA, and we'll figure out post June what to do with certain positions. But for me right now, man, I think that I think I'm with you on the lineman thing. Actually, I probably would take Graham Barton. I probably wouldn't even play with it. If those are the best linemen right there, I would just take Graham Barton, not even worry about trading back. But in
No,
the
I'm
in
just
the
saying
I.
if Graham Barton and Tyler Guyton were not there at
Oh,
24,
you said if they weren't there. Okay, got you. My bad.
that's a scenario where I could see them moving back. But
But if they're
outside that,
not there,
I
then
don't.
somebody else is going to pop down that they might like Latu, or you know what I'm saying. Like I
Oh,
don't know
that's
if they
true.
if they I don't know if they like verse as much, or what about Fontanu or Talise
Fontana,
Fuaga? You know what I'm
Fuaga,
saying? Yeah,
Jackson Powers
some
Johnson.
somebody's going to be
Somebody gonna
there.
be there.
Now, if Jackson Powers Johnson is my best player there, but I'm looking at like a receiver or something like that, I'm probably trading back if I can find a trade partner. But you got to find a trade partner that makes sense. So, I think we talk about it last week where I said that your trade partner has to be somebody that's not going to take something. No, I said that on Boss's show, but it has to be somebody that's going to take a position that you don't want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you're not gung ho at taking a receiver in the first round, it has to be somebody that's coming up and trying to take a receiver. Like for example, Baltimore wanted to come up, take a receiver, or KC wanted to come up and take a receiver. But I doubt KC gonna call us. They tried to call us last year and we ain't
And it
pick
was
up.
like,
So
y'all remember when I tried to call y'all last year? Y'all ain't want to bang with me last year. Well, I ain't banging with you this year.
exactly. Uh let's see. Somebody said Byron Murphy. Yeah, Byron Murphy is probably one of my top players. So Byron Murphy falls. I would definitely hey bro, I'm staying pat and I'm making a pick. So
Man, if
uh,
Byron Murphy fall, then you got. Ooh,
yeah, so
I
I
didn't
got
even
a
think
question.
about that one because I was like, he gonna be gone.
All right, so I'll play a game with you, right? I'll play a game with you right now. Pause. No Diddy. I'll play
No
a game
Diddy.
with you right now. Hey, I wonder if we get flagged for saying no Diddy. Uh,
I don't know.
Yeah, but I'll play. Let's play a game. Like Saw. I'm gonna name a couple prospects, and you let me know if you stay pat or if you say I'm a trade back. All
Oh,
right.
you mean if they're available?
Yeah, like yes, if they're available. All right. So I'll do it with three prospects: Troy
Okay.
Fautanu,
Oh, get that
Marius Mims.
in the first round.
Yeah.
I'll pull the trigger on them.
Okay. Jackson Powers Johnson.
And I really like him, but then I heard that he had all these hip issues, so I'm gonna go ahead and trade back because if Jackson Power Johnson is there and that's your pick, then that means that Guyton is not there. So I would think that they would probably move back on that
Gotcha. All right. So I got my guy Ben, and Ben has just
one.
entered.
Hey,
What's
Hey,
going on, Ben? How you doing, bro?
doing good, y'all. Little draft work and this and that, whatnot. How you doing tonight?
Pretty good, bro. So I got my guy E2 Blue here. I don't think you guys have met, but I got an opportunity to introduce you. And can you tell everybody in, you know what I'm saying, around the world, the people that are watching this, like what you do, because you do a very, very good job of what you do.
Yeah. So basically, I break down film for a living. Uh, I work with PFF, and I'm also a draft analyst, writer and contributor for the Cowboys Wire at USA Today and their sports media group. So, this past year's been interesting. I decided to kind of step out of the shadows of the football world and start trying to dabble a little bit with content and whatnot. And here we are.
Absolutely, bro. So you got your list of people, right?
Yeah, yeah, the one you
Okay,
wanted to
cool.
talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, man, I got somebody else. Oh man, like because my guy landlord just popped by, so I'm gonna make sure I add him to the stage. What's
Let's
going
add
on,
'em.
landlord? Oh man, I done messed
I'm
up right
big.
now. Give me 1 second. Give me one second,
oh,
bro. Let me see what I got. Okay, we got landlord in the building. What's going on, landlord? How you doing?
What's happening? What's happening? What's going on with y'all, man?
what's
What's
good,
going on?
landlord?
So yeah, we
See if
got
I can
Ben.
fix this look a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Come
Hey,
on.
look, I was just telling everybody, we was just like, man, you like one half Amigos, but a Cowboys content creator.
Hey, hey, I'll accept that. I'll assume that role, man. What's going on?
Not much, man. So Ben, you got your list. So I'm glad that landlord is here and E2 is here because we can talk about this, right? So you got your list of guys that you like and guys that you don't. So let's talk about guys that you would like the Cowboys to draft.
Let me pull that one up. All right, so first round guys. For whatever reason, they brought Fuaga in uh, on a 30 visit. I don't know how he's going to get to him. I don't know what
No.
capital they're going to spend to go up and grab him. But if he were to join the team, I would obviously be thrilled. JC Latham, I like him a lot. And I think you can bump him into guard or replace Terrence Steele with him. And I think he can be a starter for a long time in the league.
I like him
Uh,
too.
I put JPJ. Now, that's kind of got an asterisk on it, and which is weird to say because I think he's the best center in the draft, and I think he's worth the pick at 24. But apparently, there's like some concussion stuff going on that they discovered from his medicals at the combine and stuff. So if he were, cleared and they were comfortable with it, I think that would be a great pick. Um,
And did they also say that he had some like hip issues too?
yeah,
I heard
yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. I think he tweaked that. That's what he tweaked at the Senior Bowl, right? Why
Yeah.
he left after day 2. So, but the list is long, man. I mean, there's other people that stretch into the second round. Fontenot, I'd be cool with him. I'm
I
actually a
love
little
Troy.
lower on him than people. People think he's going to be like a top 15 pick. I don't think he's worth that, but I do like the player. So
That's the one
I would
from Washington or the other one?
Washington, yeah.
Yep, Washington. Yeah,
Troy?
left tackle. Yep,
That's
Oh,
Troy. Troy.
I love him. I think
Me
best
too.
movement in the class, man. Maintains knee bend, all that good stuff. Like
yeah.
a lot to like about his game.
Yeah, it is. Do you think that he is? I guess of the tackles, he isn't the number one, probably because he isn't what 6'6", 6'7", possibly.
It's definitely the size, if you ask me. You know, he don't have the
Yeah, he's a
prototypical
little
build
smaller.
and the length and the arms and all of that. You know, they real technical these days. If your arms ain't long enough, they gonna throw you in the inside as a guard. And I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? We got football players who just ball players and they might not fit your prototypical build. And I think that's just kind of like, that's kind of nasty work to me. Like if he's a
Yeah.
baller, if he could play tackle, let him play tackle. You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that.
His build's interesting, man, because like his arms are actually like pretty damn long. They're over 34 inches, but he's 3 inches shorter than kind of like the prototypical height
Mm-hmm.
for an
Yeah.
It's
offensive
all
tackle.
about size and height in the NFL. Yeah.
But that height almost helps him since he still has the long reach. Because when you start thinking about things like leverage and pad level, like he's just naturally a little lower. He's still got the length. You know what
That
I mean?
helps you. Yeah, that helps you in them trenches.
Yeah, I think that's
Right.
a positive. I don't see that as a
Yeah,
negative.
yeah.
Right, but he's got some things, some warts, I think, as well. Like he's not very multiple with his recoveries to counters. His depth and his kick slides are almost always, pretty monotone when you start to look at him. He's not a dominant run blocker. He can do it. He moves real well. There's not a block he can't reach, that type of thing. But he's not just gonna displace these NFL DTs and things like that. Snap anticipation can be a little slow, things like that. But I mean, for the most part, those are things that I think can be worked on. He'll continue to get stronger and all of those things as he progresses. So I think he'd be a fine pick.
I think
Yeah,
he
and,
moves
and
so
before,
well that
he can.
he can make up for some of those flaws, though, in my opinion. Go ahead,
Yeah,
D.
I agree. And my question before we move on to the next person on the list, do you think that he's strong enough to play guard? Because for me, I think he's a tackle. I don't even think he's one of those guys you slide into to being a guard, personally.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
I think his movement is what makes him a tackle. Like we discussed the functional length and all that. I think you slide him inside, you might start to see some problems on play strength, things like that. Which is kind of where I'm at with Graham Barton, who is on the other list, the do not draft at 24 list, which everybody in Cowboys Nation, and I mean everybody in Cowboys Nation, would be
Everybody wants Graham
thrilled.
Barton.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that because I need to know why you said no. But let's keep it with who you like, and then because I know you got a lot of people. This is why I wanted to discuss this. You got a lot of people on the naughty list. So so just name like 3 more on your yes list, and then we'll go to the naughty list.
You want to keep going with offensive linemen or?
Just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, give us a receiver that landlord. Is there any receivers on that list?
That's my jam right there. Man.
Absolutely. Where'd my thing go?
Hold on, it's receivers on the do not list. He's saying.
I got receivers on the do not list, but if Rome Odunze for whatever reason CeeDee Lamb his way down the board, I think he's the best route runner in the class and could be wide receiver 1 in like a lot of draft classes.
They got Rome going like 10 though. Like that would
they
be
got everybody going before the Cowboys draft though.
But you know what? They've been so wrong the last couple of years, and people have been taking whoever it is that they want, and then people have been going crazy. So I think you got to be able to prepare for some things like that to happen these days.
That's why they brought in Fuaga.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I've been thinking nefariously. Like I wanted to be petty. That's the only way I feel like I can get what I want, which is a receiver. So now I'm looking at it like that's the only way it can happen. It'll have to be a CeeDee Lamb situation. Did y'all hear what Stephen Jones said yesterday? He spoke about Jalen Tolbert, like, they looking for him to step up. That's my guy.
To take over for Gallup.
Yeah, that's my guy.
You know what I'm starting to believe?
Like,
I'm starting to believe when Steven say that stuff, like I think that probably means like we're looking at receiver.
You can't trust them. You can't trust.
But also too, Stephen Jones says things around the draft to try to get teams to throw teams off on what they really want. You know what I mean? Because we know that Jerry talked too much when it comes to like, trying to give away the draft plans and stuff, and you can't do that. So I think Stevens, of the smarter mindset of saying, and I can't believe I'm saying that, but basically trying to throw the other teams off by throwing that out there.
Somebody got to keep it close to the vest. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, somebody got to.
Yeah,
somebody got to.
Jerry be like, "Here's my list." Oh, damn.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, damn. I dropped the list.
The Cowboys big boy hey, my bad.
Hey, he had one of them little scrolls. He had one of them little scrolls that they used to have in the old days.
You got one of
the this series don't do it again, and it's just going to be a photo. They're going to Photoshop a picture of that from when he was at the combine with all the scribbles on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they just gave it to him this year.
You already know he gonna have a pen that you got to dip in the ink with the felt at the back. He gonna have the old school pen and everything.
Yeah,
but yeah.
So
I ain't gonna lie. I was just thinking that was the only way I could get it now. Because after I heard them comments, I'm thinking it gotta be like, ain't no way possible this dude supposed to drop this far, and now we just gotta do it. Like that's the only way I think I can really get my type of receiver right now. What you think, DMV? Is it still hope for me?
Yeah, I think it's hope, bro. I mean, like I've been saying, and look, I've been throwing little nuggets out there, hoping. Like you talked about my guy today in Blake Corn, which we'll talk about. Yeah. But I've been throwing nuggets. Like people been asking. Vach asked me, like, what's your number one pick that you would flip through hoops for? That you know what I'm saying? You running around the room. Brian Thomas Jr. is that for me. Brian Thomas Jr. I feel like. And he might be on. I don't know if he's on Ben's do not or do list, but I feel like that's our Randy Moss to Greg Ellis situation, where somebody that tall getting behind the defenders like he does. I just think we never had nothing like that before.
It's like your responsible, responsible pick and your irresponsible pick.
Hey, I said sometimes you just can't be responsible no more, man. It ain't no fun.
Fast and Furious, man. That's my hit the Nas pick right there. Like,
because I'm looking at it like this. That's a skill set that we've been lacking for years, y'all.
Brian Thomas Jr. Brian Thomas Jr.
We ain't had nobody of that ilk, like in a long time, like Dez, but we had the back end of Dez. Somebody who
Dez
was
wasn't that though. Dez
not
wasn't
like
that.
that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like physically imposing to the point where they can high point any football. That's who Brian Thomas is. And Dak ain't had that. And I was telling Boss Cowboy, shout out to Boss. I was telling him, like, man, when you look at the way Dak played with Michael Gallup, that's what he desired. He wants somebody like that. He was throwing the ball up like Michael Gallup is 6'4", like jumping out
Michael
the gym.
Gallup used to come down with those, but before he got hurt, and then now it's like he was kind of a shell of himself. I don't think he ever really recovered. But
you see, he wanna play like that though. He wanna play like that, and you can tell a lot of people try to think that Dak just want to throw to the tight end. I think he's just looking for that skill set. Like he want to be able to high point the football. That's all.
Yeah.
And you got something to say? Oh, go ahead, E2, sorry.
And I think that like he started getting that going with Cooks in that back corner. You know what I'm saying? Like that you know. But if you get somebody like he said, but if you get a high pointer like that, maybe one of the tight ends could turn into that. Maybe one of these young guys that we got, they got the height to do it. I mean,
we know CD got ability, but it's a difference when you like, okay, we in the red zone. We finna fade this dude. And you know, DBs are not, they can't match that height, bro. They just can't do it. That's just so easy money, man. I can see Dak. And cause it was a situation where Dak put the ball on the money. Like, I can't remember what game, but it was one game.
It was Arizona he did for CD, and CD was fighting with the ref.
I'm talking about Dak threw it. It was so risky, but it was so precise. And he hit him right there where it needed to be, but CD just couldn't make the catch. I was like, dang, if that was a big body, he would have posted up. He would have turned around, posted up, and made sure he was the only one to be able to catch that ball. So CD's versatile. He can do everything, but it's just certain stuff that, you know, is not his strongest suit. Like, and being a possession type receiver, you know what I'm saying? He's that, but I'm talking about like a post up, like a power forward
50-50 ball receiver.
Yeah. And he can do it, but you know, that ain't what we love CD for. You know what I'm saying?
So Ben, it what was Brian Thomas on your naughty list or on your yes sir list?
He's on my yes sir list, man. That's a rare combination of size and speed.
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
A rare combination of size and speed. Man.
And then he know how to be a number 2 already too. That's a good
I mean, at some point you're gonna need another vertical stretcher, right? Like Cooks isn't gonna be here forever. BTJ absolutely knows how to do that. And I think he knows how to do a lot more than his LSU film suggests. You know, like they were like death by, 9 route down the seam team. You know, it's just burn them deep and go, and then let Daniels run free, man. So, but I think when you watch him, I think he can run a lot more nuanced routes and a lot of those short and intermediate routes. He just wasn't asked to do. So I think he can be even more complete than his like draft profile is going to suggest. I like him a lot. Big, physical, aggressive at the catch point, great control over his body. And so, would not complain about that one bit.
Absolutely. Okay, so give us one more on your yes sir list, and then we're gonna move on to your naughty list. Like, give us a surprise one that like I don't know, like I'm thinking like they haven't shown us any inkling of this position, possibly.
Well, all I did on that one was post positions of need.
Okay, that's okay. That's fine.
But I mean, I could do like Trey Taylor, safety out of Air Force in the late rounds. Cousin of Ed Reed.
I love Trey Taylor. Ooh, yeah, I love Trey Taylor. I love him as a player. I actually know the DB coach that was at Air Force. He's at UVA now. Shout out to my boy Jerome Cox, and he coached him. And Air Force was one of the top tackling teams in the nation when he was there. I think 2 years ago. And Trey Taylor, if you watch his tape, man, he's like a missile all over the place.
Out of a cannon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I've been fighting with the idea of this team taking a safety because Zim is very, very big on having 2 really good safeties, and these guys might not fit his mold. You know what I'm saying?
I
They
like the
need to
guy
be
that
they need
out of USC too. What's his
Bullock,
name?
Kalen Bullock.
Yeah, I like his build. He remind me of the guy out of Baltimore. But I
Kyle
thought
Hamilton.
about safety earlier. I thought about safety earlier, but I just don't see a way it can sneak in there. I just don't see it.
Nah, they're
It's
gonna they're
sneaky
gonna
though.
battle with BPA versus needs in this class, man. And that's
Yeah.
honestly why half the people that are on my do not, I hope they don't take them list. That's half the reason why they're there is because I think it's just a huge BPA draft for me. Everyone says there's a ton of needs. I think they stripped it down to the young studs, and they're transitioning into a new contract cycle for all of their key players. And I think they're, eating the chunk of the money now so that they can do what they need to do in the future. And so to me, that suggests take the best damn football players in the draft and
Absolutely.
move on down the road. But there are some glaring needs on the roster as well if you want to, improve key parts of your team.
I
So
think DMV agreed with me because that's what I wanted to ask you about this. Me and DMV kind of agreed that like I think we're gonna find ourselves in a situation to where maybe in the first round it's the best player available is a receiver. It could be in the second round the best player available is a receiver. So if you against
probably will.
receiver, look, if you against receiver, you really want your team to do it wrong because that you know what I'm saying? It's quite possible it could be receiver in the first 3 rounds, the best player available. And
Yeah.
you'll have to look dead in that receiver eyes and say no.
Hey, landlord, you were the one who brought this up to me, and I had to think about it. It happened in Green Bay, and we saw it happen last year. Mike will abandon that damn run so
He's
fast.
not gonna run the ball, y'all.
Yeah.
I just want y'all to know that. He's not. That's not in his nature, man. It's almost like he almost like Kellen Moore, but he got a better, he better with it though. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's more responsible with it. Cause
But
like
wait, but didn't they have a run game when he was with the Packers? Because I
For
remember
1
them
year with Eddie
using
Lacy. For
yeah,
1
Eddie
year.
Lacy, and I remember when they had John
they
Coons when they were using him as the fullback
he was
position.
a
Like
blocker though. He was
Yeah,
a
he was.
blocker.
Hey, it got so bad in Green Bay that they put a damn receiver at running back for
Ty
years.
Montgomery win it.
They put a
Yeah,
receiver.
yeah.
oh
Because you
yeah,
gotta
I
look.
remember that project.
Mike McCarthy made his bones with all the receivers, y'all. I'm what I told people. I keep preaching for receivers, man. I want better for us. We got some okay receivers right now. I like Brandon Cooks. I wanted more though. I'm sorry, I wanted more. So I look
That's
at
why I had
this.
to
I
bring you
say
on
this.
today, bro.
Look, I say this. Look, I'm trying to give us the Dallas that got CD late. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give us that same offense. But now look, you got a better Dak now. Just imagine Dak with that same firepower, and he's a better Dak, and you got a better defense.
And also keep in
Answer
mind this
this.
too. CD Lamb in his first year, didn't he hit 4,000? Pretty sure he did.
He went 9. He went 9, and he was the third option.
Yep, he did. So yeah,
And
go
Dak
ahead,
was
E2.
hurt. Dak was hurt, and
I
he
was.
still hit 9.
That's true.
I'm trying to give y'all that firepower, man. Cause look around, bro. They got them over there in the Eagles. They do. We don't like them. The only reason I'm not too high on them is because I don't have too much faith in Jalen. But they receiving core, they receiving core is nasty, bro.
It is.
They are.
Speaking
So
of Ty Montgomery, dude, you seen that they brought in Tyrone Tracy from Purdue, running back.
I didn't see that, but talk about it though, because I kind of like Tyrone Tracy a little bit. He's not one of my favorite backs in the draft, but I like him a little bit.
Only been a running back for like a year.
Oh wow.
He's a receiver, and he converted a lot like Montgomery, but he did it a year early instead of a year late. And when you run their RAS side by side, identical, man. Identical players.
Oh boy! So do you know what that means? We slinging
Uh,
that rock, baby.
we throwing the ball,
Benny's
yeah.
talking about him over there.
We throwing the ball. Look, if we know he gonna throw the ball, what's the best thing to do? Help him
Get a
throw the ball.
receiver.
Just get a receiver.
Get a
Get you some
receiver.
pass blockers and rock out, bro. Because he's gonna do it, y'all. He is.
What if we get? I don't know if Benson is out of the question, or Jonathan Brooks in the second round. I know Jonathan Brooks had an ACL, but the Cowboys doctor. You know how that is.
Can we get him in
Ben,
the third?
Jonathan Brooks is Jonathan Brooks on your naughty list?
On my naughty list. So is Benson.
Benson too?
Mainly because
Oh.
they're day two picks, man. I don't want them to spend
Okay,
day
got
two
you.
capital on running back.
Okay,
I
you had
want a
him on your
wide
naughty list
receiver
for
in the
day one.
second day,
Okay,
so I ain't
okay,
I ain't
all
mad at you.
No,
I
no,
ain't
I
mad
don't
No,
at you.
I meant the second round. I meant pick 56.
No, that's what I'm saying. I want them to wait till day 3 to get a running back.
Oh, to day
And for a
3.
couple
Oh,
reasons.
Day
I
three?
think that there's better
Yeah.
players like for the core of your football team for the future that's going to be available in the first 3 rounds. And I like the top end talent at running backs in next year's draft a lot better. And if they go high this year, I don't think they will next year. So I'm team wait it out a year and roll with what
So
you
what
got.
round you talking about? Fifth?
Get your 5th round pick. If
I about
Kamani
to say,
Vidal is
because
I'm
there,
gonna push.
it
I'm gonna
can't
push
be
back on
third.
that. Unless we
We
trade
don't have
back
a fourth.
and we get in
Yeah.
fourth.
you think they're gonna drop that far then?
Now, because you know what? Last year, see, Ben, this is where I'll push back. Last year we tried to do that and we ended up with Deuce.
Mm. I call them little legs. I call
We
them little
tried to
legs.
do that last year, and then we were
I
forced.
think they stretched this year, bro. I just do. I think they stretched this year, and there's some day 3 guys that I really like. And they brought in a lot of day 3 guys in their 30 visits. They brought in 8 running backs in their 30 visits. Half of them were day 3 guys, and none of them were Vidal, which I was upset about. But
So let me ask you a question: Is Blake Corum a day 2 or a day 3 guy? We're gonna talk about Blake on here. We're gonna talk. I don't care what they say. We're gonna talk about Blake.
I got him with a day 2 grade, but I got him with a day 3 projection just because he's a little older and he's little.
Hey, he little, but he pack a punch.
I hear you. I just don't want a 5'7" power back.
He
Man,
fast
he's
too,
different.
though. He fast
Not
too.
great
He's
speed fast,
different.
and he's not zigzag quick. He's got a good cut step, but
I ain't gonna lie, he's so precise with it, and
Yeah.
he's decisive with the way he runs.
good
I
running
like
back,
that.
man.
I like
I
that.
like Corum. I don't like him for the Cowboys.
I can feel that though.
I can feel that, but what I like about him is what we lack, and that's a running back that knows how to press the line of scrimmage with the anticipation of what a linebackers are going to be. So, Landlord, I had an opportunity to watch what you were talking about earlier, and he's bending and making cuts before everything is forming.
Before it
it's
even
forming.
developed. Yeah.
That's vision.
Special.
Yeah.
That's special right there. Because that's
That is special. You
anticipation
need that.
with your run. Yeah.
And
Because
then
you
that's
give
where
people
yep.
credit for
Great
both
vision, man.
sides. You give people credit for being patient and being anticipatory of how you run it. So he doing both. I seen both in the film session I did earlier.
And there's only 2 other backs that I really think have that sense. I think Trey Benson has that sense, and I think that Ray Davis. I think Ray Davis has that as well.
I've got Ray Davis going literally like at the same spot as Corum, but I like him a lot more.
I can understand
he
that.
a little bigger, right? He bigger though.
Yeah,
Right.
he faster too. He bigger. He faster. Is Ray older? Is Ray older?
Yeah, Ray's older.
Yeah, Ray's. But here's the thing: we only need a running back for 4 years.
Yeah,
you're not drafting him for
one.
a second contract.
Exactly, and that's what people have to understand is that you're not trying to get running backs to last for 10 years anymore. At this point, you're trying to get somebody. You're trying to get juice. You're trying to get juice to your backfield until you can get some more juice.
I was about to say you ain't marrying them, you're dating them these days.
That's it.
You're dating the running back
position. You're dating them and keeping them moving.
Yeah.
Ray Davis is like almost exactly 1 year older than Blake. Both their birthdays are in November. Ray's 24, Blake's 23. So
absolutely. So who else is on that naughty list, man? Because I know I asked you for about 15 minutes or whatnot, and it's been a little bit over, but you know.
Good. I'm chilling, brother. I'm just gonna go back to finishing some work once we're done here. Let me find it. Hold on. We wanted to talk about Graham Barton.
Yes. I gotta hear your why you have him. No, I gotta hear that one
because of the fact that everybody else wants him right there at 24.
No, that's not why. Man, I can't find it. My list of
I could tell
points.
you why I wouldn't want him there because I'm sick to death of hearing about position flex. And sometimes you just want somebody to be dominant in what the hell it is that they do.
That's
That
a big
that
part of
part.
it. Look,
That part.
I like almost everything about Graham Barton's game. He's not going to play tackle in the NFL, though. His reach is short, and he compensates for it, and it gets him in trouble. And people think you move him inside, that's going to fix all those issues. But there's more issues than just that for me. I don't like the position switch as a first round pick. I think it's risky, and I think there's less risk if you were to go a different direction. That's part of it. Second part of it, one thing Graham Barton struggles with is core strength / anchor, sinking that ass and staying in control.
So that means he can't play center either then.
Well, that's my point. Is
Because
because when
that's
And the
260
all guard,
pound
yeah.
defensive ends in college are giving you anchor problems,
yeah.
and I see pretty consistently on tape. Like, don't get me wrong, if he gets extended on you and he's driving his feet, your ass is going in the dirt.
I was about
Like
to
I said,
say,
a lot I like about
I see him locking up people sometimes too, though. I'm gonna have to go take another look. Then.
sure, and his
Yeah.
grip strength is next level. It's so strong, and his movement is top tier. A lot to like. But when I see these anchor issues against 260-pound defensive ends in college, you want to move him inside against 310-pound defensive tackles in the NFL? I don't.
You need you
No,
need
not
that,
at all.
base then.
I get that.
And that's literally it for me. I don't want my pocket pushed, and I don't want him getting bullied inside. I think that
And
with
you
the
don't
proper
need your center
technique,
getting pushed back into Dak either. That's no bueno.
That's actually when Dak is at his worst, honestly. Last year I thought Dak was a little bit better because look, you had Tyler in that guard, so that pocket, some of the like Dak can make up for bad tackle play. We've seen
I was
that,
just about
but
to say he basically used to it because Tyler, be honest, was just he was just pretty much doing the same thing. Shit.
so
but the
yeah,
guard play was A1 for the most part. Actually, Zach Martin probably was probably the worst of the two guards this year.
Which is
Obviously,
crazy.
in
Which
my
is
opinion,
crazy.
DMV a
here's the thing,
grown
though.
man for saying that, boy. You're a
Yeah,
grown man for saying that. Because it's the truth, but people don't want to talk about it.
yeah.
Look, man, I think another truth behind it, though, is a good coach and a good plan. I think he can learn those things. I don't think he has it right now. I think it's a question mark for him to develop that. But I think with some core strength training and some technique things, that he could definitely fix those issues at the next level if he were to be bumped inside. And I mean, that's part of the draft, is developing those players that way. But again, at 24, I'm good. We trade back.
Okay.
I'm not going to complain.
I made a tweet today, and this actually made me think that I want probably either the line to kind of stay. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I had to think about it. I made a tweet that the last time we saw Tyler Smith at tackle, they moved Bosa to the other side. The last two games we saw Tyler Smith play tackle, he dominated San Francisco and the Buccaneers in the playoffs. He was starting to really get that. The one thing that I know about him is we've seen him against top tier pass rushers, and we've seen what he's been able to do. Listening to Ben and knowing what I do, there's a lot of question marks about these tackles out there. We don't know if Mims is gonna make it a whole year. Troy probably is not gonna make it to us. Latham will be on the right side. Most of these guys are right side players, so they have to switch over to the left side. There's a lot more question marks than there is if I move Tyler to left tackle, even though his best position is guard. You know what I'm
Tell you
saying?
this right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say, I think he can be an all-pro tackle. I do. And two, I think a bigger need is at right tackle than left tackle because of that.
Yikes.
No, it is, but the problem is that your contracts, the contracts are
1 year
say
where
that.
he's got 1 year left where it stings, and then it don't sting anymore.
So you don't see him doing better this year.
Terrence Steele.
Terrence Steele.
Oh no, I think he would. I don't. I doubt he goes downwards, man.
You
You
know
know.
what I think Terrence Steele issue is?
The
It ain't
injury.
him. It's the offensive line coach not playing him to his strengths. That's what I believe.
I don't think I don't think he was strong. I really think he was struggling on one leg last year. That's
I
just
about to say I
me.
think it's the injury. That's what I feel like
Combination of
he
both.
came back too early. We know he a workout warrior. He's a hard working guy. He probably like they how you feel, Terrence? I'm good. I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
They're
I don't
always gonna
know.
say that because
Yeah, they
they
always
don't want
gonna
to
say that.
sound like they soft. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. You know how we are. Like we could be
Yeah,
hurting and they be like, "Yeah, I'm good, baby. I'm
I'm
straight."
good. I'm good.
You
I'm
know
all
what I'm
right.
Yeah,
saying?
and it's funny you say that because Gallup was struggling with his one leg, and then he worked to get real strong, and then all of a sudden he forgot to catch the damn ball. Worked so hard on getting strong,
And then
he
he
forgot.
lost his touch. Shit.
You
But yeah.
cock strong, but you can't catch the ball.
Yeah, that's how it
So
be, man. So I think he just came back a little too early or something.
yeah, absolutely. So Ben, give us one more on that naughty list, man. And I know, like, shoot, I like to keep things at about an hour, man. We could, go around the round table, talk about what we want to see for the first round, and we can get up out of here. So,
Man,
what you got for us, Ben? Who's on a naughty list that give us a big name?
Um, which one you want? You want AD Mitchell or you want Tyler Guyton?
Mm.
mm.
I want AD Mitchell because I want to
Ooh,
see if we on the same page. I like him, but he got some alarming things that I don't like.
He takes plays off.
Mm. Don't want
He's
that.
got character things and takes plays off, and just little things like that. That where he's probably gonna go, I wouldn't want to waste the pick on it. You know, things that would be less concerning to me on day three or whatever are things that
Yeah,
I don't want to have to worry about on day one or even day
they
two.
what I seen that I didn't like about him, man, it was a couple of situations where he got his quarterback in trouble because he wasn't attacking the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like that. Out of my receivers, I played receiver many moons ago. I know one thing: when the ball in the air, it's yours. You got to go get it. Like the quarterback ain't throwing the ball to you; he's just throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? You got to go get it. So that got to be in your mindset. And there was plenty of times where I seen him waiting on the football. That's a bad trait because now the DB all over your shoulders. What if the DB attacking the ball and you waiting on the ball? That mean that's an interception. That mean that's a pass breakup. So I seen that a little too often from Adian Mitchell, and
Yeah,
he
he
got
got
all the
some.
tools though. It's just crazy.
Yeah, the concentration drops are a thing. You know that it's like, dude, quit dropping the easy ones. You know,
Yeah,
um, and
Focus,
his
focus.
contested catch. I mean, we just went on a whole rant about how we need the guy that's going to dominate at the catch point.
it's true.
It's not
So he
AD.
got this size for no reason
I
because
mean,
he
it's
got the
cool.
size.
He's got the acrobatic ability and the cool, throw
Yeah,
it over my head and I'm gonna go
yeah.
get it stuff and whatnot. But
Circus
like a
catches.
true like contested catch, like his grip strength around the ball, things like that, it's just not. It doesn't work out for him usually. So that's a concern.
Yeah, that
gotcha. Yeah, that's
and
that's an excellent one. So right now we're gonna take a chance where everybody goes around says their number one person. I think I already said who I want at 24. So we'll start with you, E2. Who's the number one player that you want at 24 in this draft?
I mean, Ben kind of hurt my feelings. I'm at the point now where like, fuck it, let's just step back, drop back.
I don't like who you like, man. That's what it's all about. Everybody's got their own boards.
I like Jackson Power Johnson because I think you need that center there to take the place of Biotish. That's a safe pick for me. But if that's not there, again we talked about guys dropping, right? Hell, if you ask me what my wild pick would be is I don't think he's ever going to drop that far. But hell, we didn't think we would get CeeDee Lamb either, right? Um, hell, if Rome is there, go get Rome. If he
yeah,
happens to drop, go get it. But I feel like if Jackson Powers Johnson's not there, if and the BPA doesn't make sense right there, then I would say just drop back and get a fourth round draft pick because we don't have a fourth. So get you some picks.
All right. I go with you, Ben.
Um, depending on what's there, of course, I think everyone's on the same page that we need more draft capital. Unless something glaring is there for me, I'm team trade back. If I'm forced to pick, um, you know, I I'm gonna go with something different because truthfully, I think O line's probably the best pick at 24. But if someone were to fall like a Quinyon Mitchell or um,
Hmm.
or Johnny Newton or Byron Murphy, really one of those two top DTs.
Okay, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like it.
I'd like either. Dude, I just want a solid checks all the boxes football player. If we stick and pick at 24,
I'm not messing with no DTs. I'm sorry.
no.
No.
Oh,
We
not a
needed to.
second. Is it a Mozzie thing or what?
No, it's a I don't feel like it's an instant impact. I think it'll take them a year or two. I don't care what DT you draft. That's a future pick in my opinion. So I stay away from it. I'm scared of a
I mean,
DT.
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, like I said earlier, I'm kind of under the impression that this thing's kind of winding towards
a
a better
rebuild.
future anyway.
Don't say
That's what they did. I mean, they kept what they stripped it down to the young studs, let some of the not so young studs people walk, and contracts around the corner. So, I don't mind something like that. But I think those two guys specifically at DT, I don't think. I mean, to be like a one of the best DTs in the league thing, you're right. But I think they can contribute right away.
you
I
think
don't
they
think
can
they're going to
impact.
give you a Mozzie Smith level of production in year one if they were to
You
be
like them
selected.
better than Mozzie already? Like as two prospects side by side?
I like them both pass rushing better than Mozzie. And I like them both as much. Yeah. So I guess yes. See, Mozzie's a complicated case though, man, because
It
it's hard to say
is.
because what happened with him is so weird. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like I'm still holding out hope that he's going to beef up and get back to doing what he does, what they
I
didn't
am
ask
too.
him to do. You know what I mean?
So if
So
you are then
I
stay
just
away
think
from
we
that
have a
defensive
sour taste in our mouth.
tackle.
I just think like what landlord was talking about, we got a sour taste in our mouth, not just with the defensive tackle position, but just with Michigan guys in general.
Michigan too, yeah.
Hey, but they
I really
dogs
dive
though.
for
They
quarter round.
dogs this year.
Yeah, they
I
Michigan.
professional.
agree. I agree.
That's probably about. Hey, look, there's probably about three or four dudes from Michigan that I would draft this year. Maybe three or four, and
tell you
and,
what,
well, and
Chris
two
Jenkins
of
is
them
good
being on
too.
the offensive line.
What do you like, Junior Colson?
I love Junior Colson. Absolutely, I
I
like
do
Junior
too.
Colson.
He did make my naughty list. Simply, simply,
Oh,
Linebacker.
again, he's one of the ones that I think where you'd have to pick him. Maybe I'd rather pick him around later type of deal, and that's
So
like
you would rather
later.
get him in round three and not round two, more than likely.
But I will say, right before this show, everyone's been giving me so much hell about it that I mean, he has a third round grade for me. Like he just does.
mm.
But I went back and looked. I'm like, okay, what's in the way of saying that I can't bump my round projection on him up? And I was like, what's seriously stopping me from doing it other than my own, pettiness, right? And there really wasn't anything. So I did bump him up to a second round projection. So I will say that even though I did have him on that list, if they were to take him in the second round, I'm not complaining.
Here's
I
my
wouldn't
thing. Here's
complain
my
either.
thing about Colson. Because of what Steven said today and what I was thinking, what if they do more of a three backer set and he's your Sam and Overshown is your Will? Whereas that's more of a you don't have to go so much nickel as much because Overshown was kind of doing a little bit of DB stuff at Texas anyway, and that's what they were kind of bringing him in to be as a Will.
I
Yeah.
was
They're
gonna
gonna
ask
they're
y'all
gonna
about
do
it.
that, dude, because they like Dan Quinn live and died by the big nickel, cover one and cover three, the underalignments, that whole thing. Create pressure, take the ball away. He lived and died by it. Zimmer doesn't do that. Zimmer matches personnel. He fluctuates his fronts between even and odd man. He stacks the strong side of the line of scrimmage, all those things. And so I think, yeah, I mean, nickel is going to be your base. It's going to be a regular nickel, not a big nickel. It's going to be a corner instead of safety, right? But he's absolutely going to, if they're going to try and hit us with a bunch of heavy personnel, we're going to match it. There's going to be an extra linebacker on that field.
I was about to say, what do you do with Clark then?
Right.
Well,
specials. You got specials.
Specials.
Time out. Because this why I get frustrated at. Look, this is why I get mad at. Because okay, look, y'all gonna say y'all want not y'all in particular, but the Joneses and stuff. They gonna say they want to grow our young players, but then you gonna make me miss out on a special receiver because you don't want to let Devon Clark grow. You see what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not finna sacrifice.
He was a 5th round pick.
Devon Clark, bro. I'm not finna.
He was a 5th round pick.
I'd rather be lacking in a little bit in linebacker than sacrifice my phenomenal receiver, bro. I'm sorry. We can't be great at every position, bro.
We've been linebacker lacking, so
you see what I'm saying? We can't be great at every position, bro. So, like we gotta realize somewhere gonna be lacking. We gotta give up something. We gotta sacrifice somewhere. We're gonna have to.
I kind of feel like you get a Colson to play that Sam role. Then you're more like you're closer to being a great linebacker core than you are at getting a great receiver.
I'd rather have Peyton Wilson.
You ain't got no defense.
But I don't know if Peyton. So if you get Peyton, I think Peyton's more of a will. I think Edra's more of a will. You think Peyton's a Sam?
Peyton can play all three. He can play Mike, Sam, or Will. That's just who he is. He can quarterback that defense. He's a green dot guy. He's smart, instinctual. He's my highest graded football player at his position in this draft. But he's not a first round projection for me because of the injuries.
Okay,
but I would absolutely roll that dice in the second. That is a huge upside.
Is Peyton like a linebacker DB type of guy?
Nah, linebacker, bro. He's lean. He's tall. He's tall.
He had 3 interceptions last year. He's great in coverage.
Oh, okay.
But he's not really a DB at all. No, he's a linebacker, and he'll go get your ass too. He'll bring the wood. Like there's not much to. He's a little slim. So if a linebacker or if a offensive lineman does climb to the second level and he's not already ahead of them because he's a quick processor, if they get hands on him, he struggles a little bit to disengage. That's about the only knock outside of the injuries that I can find.
I ask all y'all one question though? I just got one question. Okay. We know we ain't got no defensive tackles, bro. Are they gonna solve stopping the run issue? Because if not, give me a wide receiver, bro. I'm going back to wide receiver. If they're not gonna stop the run for us, because look, we still don't have no defensive tackles. We hope Mozzie can do it.
I think you got to draft. I think the solution is to get a 3-tech in the draft, and I think post June you're looking for a 1-tech to back Mozzie up. That's what I would do personally. Because you got Chauncey, you got Chauncey on this roster, you got Fehoko on this roster. And they're gonna have every opportunity to play.
I actually like Chauncey.
Drafting one of these linebackers as a rookie is not going to fix the run problem instantaneously, but you have to start somewhere.
You do. You got to start somewhere, and we still don't know what Overshown is going to give you either.
We don't, and we count him like he a real player already.
Well, I kind of feel like stopping. Go ahead. My bad. I was just going to say, I think part of stopping the run on the other side is being able for us to actually run the ball on our side, in my opinion. Because if we're throwing the ball around, you know what I'm saying, we scoring quick and all that type of stuff, you know, on the other side makes it real easy for
defense
them.
Out. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's fair. You know, time management's a big part of that. Cowboys did pretty good in time of possession splits last year, though. You got to give them it wasn't that bad, but I hear what you're saying, because if you score quick, you're going to be tired. That's the linebacker problem right now, though, is Overshown and Clark, your two young linebackers, are both wills. And the one Mike or Sam that you have on your team is on a 1-year deal.
And then you got to figure out what you're going to do.
I don't like
which is why you're saying Peyton Wilson, and that's why I'm also saying Junior Colson, because I think Junior
and honestly,
your Mike the next year.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why I went ahead and bumped his projection up out of my pettiness as well, is because that
So
is
what
true.
round
He's one
y'all
of the
going linebacker?
Junior Colson, I will go second round at 56 if he's there.
I
How
think you
about
gotta go
receiver for
linebacker.
me?
I think you gotta go linebacker and run or I think linebacker and running back. You gotta day 2 considerations, high day 2 consideration for
The
certain
only
Yeah.
way
guys.
I get a wide receiver in that situation is first round.
But that's why I'm also trade back because if I'm trade back, I can get all of it.
That's the
I
only
can
way
get
I'll
all
do
of
it.
it.
I see a scenario where they could trade back though if what they want is not there and they're just looking at based on what they
Landlord gonna be
need.
sick if we trade back because somebody
I
trading up
know.
to get a receiver. Somebody trading up to get a receiver, bro.
Well,
Ain't
you
trading
already
up for no
know.
quarterback. Nobody
You already
trading up to
know.
get no damn Penix.
Nah,
Nobody
Penix or
want no
Bo Nix.
Penix.
they gonna
They got
trade up to
Penix.
get Brian Thomas, and we gonna be sick.
They got
Yep.
Penix going in the
Yep.
second round at this
Yep.
point in the draft.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a receiver. Somebody trading up for.
But
Him
look
and
how
Edric
boneheaded that'll
Cooper.
be, man. That's all I'm saying. I can state my piece so I can stop before I get mad. All right, look, listen.
So
All I'm
yeah,
saying is you don't need all pros all over your O line. Nobody has that. I don't know why we feel like we got to draft first round linemen every year. Nobody got all pros, all 5
Since
players.
Frederick,
we
since
drafted
Travis
a lot of
Frederick,
linemen
that's what
last
we
year,
do.
and
You see,
we had a lot of undrafted free agents. We got a lot of linemen. We
I'm
do.
just saying, bro. Like, I'm tired of being responsible, especially if it's not gonna work. It's still not gonna work, and I just set up here and got a tackle every time. Like, okay, if that's
Shout
not
out
if
to the sister
we don't have
Jazz.
to have all Pro Bowlers, all pros on the O line, nobody got that. Okay, we can settle for that. Then when it comes to linebacker, okay, if they're not gonna fix the run game, bro, I'm just saying, give me a receiver. And then, okay, I'm not a fan of getting defensive tackles young in the draft, bro. I was against getting Mozzie last year. I said no defensive tackle at
You
all.
just want to
We
sign
should
all
have
your DTs off free agency?
we should have got that in free agency, bro. That was
Yeah,
my
bro.
whole thing.
I want like veteran 5-year fat guys, bro.
Yes,
That
we
have
need
5
grown
years,
men.
5 off seasons that
Don't on
understand
that
the
Grover
stuff.
Stewart train.
Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
grown men. Like I was. That's what really got me feeling so down about this year because it was a bunch of defensive tackles in free agency and we did nothing. So you still gonna be hard headed and try to address this in the draft. You still gonna do it. Like you said, screw all of that. I'm doing it anyway. That's wild, man. That's wild, and it's
So landlord.
irresponsible.
What's the
Go ahead.
definition of insanity?
Doing
So
the same
landlord.
thing
We
over and
all
over.
we already know your pick is a receiver. Which one of them is it? Who's your
I
24?
think it's Brian Thomas Jr. He the only person I feel like that'll make that CeeDee Lamb situation. Cause like I can deal with a second round receiver, but I don't think they'll do it in the second round. You see what I'm saying?
Would you take BTJ over Roma Dunze if you were to fall?
I don't see Ron falling at all though. I don't even think that's realistic. That's why I stayed away from him.
Lamb wasn't realistic.
But
I'm just
CeeDee
Well,
saying.
Lamb went
that's
in
why I
this
just
draft
said.
though.
That's what I
CeeDee Lamb
said.
went in this draft though. You see what I'm saying?
You,
These
you know,
receivers high.
I don't know. I don't know that I trust Mike with Rome, but I know Mike knows exactly
Really?
what to do with Brian Thomas Jr. with his body type and
Yeah.
the slants and stuff. I think Mike knows exactly what to do with him.
Well,
Because that's the
what is
only
it
reason
that
I
Rome
say
needs
that.
to do? What is it that Rome can't do?
No, he can do everything. I'm just talking about. I know Mike really likes that
The
big
tall
frame
guy.
in
I got you.
that X spot. You know what I'm
He's gonna
saying?
wait. Well, what about Malachi Corley, who they brought in?
I don't want no slot guy. I
Uh,
rather put Brandon Cooks in the slot.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks got
I
one
like
year left.
I like Corley, but it would have to be where he's the best player on the board for me to take him, if that makes sense.
The only thing about Corley to me, will he demand snaps over Brandon Cooks? Listen, my idea,
See,
I want the receiver that I draft, I want him to walk through the door knowing that he's number 2. I want him to just blow Brandon Cooks
Yeah.
out the door because I don't want it to be no politics. I want it to be like, okay, this the guy.
Yeah.
And
No,
he's stepping right.
Jalen
Yeah.
Tolbert's having a
I
better
don't
camp
want
than
none
this
of that
dude.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Because if they draft him with a first round or a second round, and think about it, we ain't got no receivers in the second round. Outside of who was our first round receiver? The last first round receiver was Dez. then I guess you can count Amari. But other than that, we ain't had
When
not
we draft
one second
receivers,
round receiver, bro.
when we
Not
draft
one.
them in the first, we hit.
We
Just like
gotta
linemen.
we gotta use
Just like
them.
linemen. Yep, we do.
We gotta
You're
use.
right.
And guess what we've been doing ever since then? We've been drafting receivers in the third. You ain't betting the house on the third round player. You're not. So that's
Michael
why
Gallup.
we've been struggling. That's why we've been struggling. We treated Michael Gallup like a number one. That was a mistake. We paid him like he was a real receiver. That was a mistake after the injuries. So if you put some real draft capital into a wide receiver, especially in this draft, we gonna back into something wonderful, something great.
That would be fun, and they definitely have some longevity there. The reason why I asked about Corley is he's actually a guy that's on my naughty list, so to quote unquote.
Yeah.
But that's it. Honestly, that's it. Just about any round before like round 7.
Wow.
I think the thing with Corley is that I don't think people are getting right now. This dude was the most productive screen. Picked up the most screen yards in college football last year.
We suck at screens.
Well, that was for a reason, man. He struggles to create separation. He's not a diverse or a very good route runner in general, in my opinion. And on top of that, it's paired with catching the ball in tight spaces or in traffic, just contested catches in general. Not very good at that either. So you have a guy that struggles to create separation and struggles to catch the ball in tight spaces. So Western Kentucky knew that. So they fed him screen after screen after screen after mesh after mesh after mesh. Dude, to get this guy going, he's the best thing since sliced bread once he has the ball in his hands.
Absolutely.
That's
a good trait. That's a good trait. But the reason I want to stay away from it, I'm tired of the hopeful guy, bro. I just told y'all we got receivers on third rounds and stuff. I'm tired of them guys. I'm tired of hoping. I'm tired of hoping that he becomes somebody. Why we can't just draft him? We know if we get this dude in the second round, we know what to expect. It's expectations though. We hoping about these dudes in the thirds, bro. I did some research about the Jalen Tolbert draft, and I know a lot of people don't. You know, Jalen Tolbert came on the show, man. He's a good guy. This ain't got nothing to do with him as a person. We talking about him as a player, and we can clearly see that the Cowboys waited too late, bro. If you go back and look at that draft, Jalen Tolbert, after Jalen Tolbert, it was nobody else noteworthy. But Romeo Dobbs, he was the only person, and nobody expected him to do nothing. So, you see what I'm saying? He was unexpected. So, that's obvious evidence right there that the Cowboys waited too late to draft receiver. I don't want to even be nowhere near that no more. I want to go get somebody. Go get somebody who could pair with CeeDee Lamb. You got one of the best receivers in the league. Go get you a duo with him. Go get you somebody that can grow with CeeDee and your quarterback, even if you don't feel like it's Dak Prescott. Whoever you bring in will have, and then Brandon Cooks is gone next year.
And so CeeDee Lamb's about to probably sign, right? We hope a 5-year extension, right? And if he does that, you have a 5-year. If you draft him in the first, it's a 5-year rookie contract. You're set for the next 5 years.
Look, the whole thought process, man. I ain't trying to haul, but I get excited about this receiver stuff. Look, the whole thought process behind this is we know Dollar Bill, Stephen Jones is cheap. He don't want to do nothing in the wide receiver market. He's not finna pay nobody. What's the best way to get your dynamic weapon on the cheap?
Rookie deal.
Better than deal. This is what I'm thinking. This is why I feel that way. Yep.
See, every time landlord get on somebody's channel, he sell everybody on receiver, bro. You a receiver salesman. You know how they come in with it. They come in there with that briefcase full of knives. He like, look, I got Brian Thomas Jr. here.
Yep.
I got Roma Dunze.
This
I got
Jalen
Polk.
This the draft for it, man. It's really too many of these guys, man. It's too many of them. And you mean to tell me we gonna get? Just imagine that we don't draft a receiver, bro, and we get a dud in the second round. We gonna be sick because them dudes more than likely these receivers is finna go crazy.
So let me ask you, man. You don't think that there's decent wide receivers in the later part of the round?
I do, but I don't trust. Look, everything I'm thinking about, bro, I'm doing it far as the way that the Cowboys operate. I'm thinking about politics. Right. I'm thinking about everything. So
they're not gonna have a shot over Jalen Tolbert. They're not gonna have a shot over Jalen Brooks.
That's the only reason. You
And
go
I'll
get
say,
Javon Baker, they're gonna say, "Hey, Javon Baker, sit right here. We got Jalen Tolbert right here." They're
We're
gonna
gonna
say
let you
Quez
develop. Yep.
Walker. They're gonna say Tez Walker, you come sit over here. They're not gonna have the cachet to demand over the politics that the Cowboys have to offer. That's my only problem with it. So guess what? If you get somebody in the second or the first, you're not gonna play with them. You're gonna be like, okay, this guy is expected to start over Brandon Cooks and Jalen Tolbert and them. If you get somebody in the third, you're gonna be like, it's just a bunch of guys. Let's see what happens. I don't want that. No.
I don't know. We was excited about Gallup in the beginning.
We was. That's all we had. That's all we had. Give a man in the desert a cup of water, he gonna be very happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I agree with you as far as the politics thing and whatnot, but I will say I've got 18 wide receivers projected rounds 1 through 3.
They
And
so loaded.
I think all 18 of them could give you more than what Jalen Tolbert's proven he can do thus far. So, but I think you're right about the way they'd handle that situation if they don't get one really early. So that's a good point.
They're gonna say, see, we was right about Jalen Tolbert. We was right about Jalen Brooks. Any Jalen that you want to name, we got plenty of them on the team. Jalen Brooks, Jalen Marino Crawford, Jalen Tolbert. You gonna pick a Jalen, they gonna put him in front of him.
It'll be Jalen Wright.
Yeah, Jalen Wright, the running back. Yeah, might as well get him.
All right, guys. Well, look, it's been a blast, bro. Appreciate all y'all. Look, we done been on here for 30 minutes. Like everybody got overtime today.
They done got bonus content.
Absolutely. So, guys are gonna watch the playback. This was excellent work, guys. Appreciate y'all for stopping by, man. Everybody that has been riding with us. I know most of the people are on Twitter watching this right now. Hey, man. Everybody now, I'll go by order or whatnot. It's not by least to best or anything like that. But let everybody know where they can find you. Starting with Landlord.
Already, man. Landlord from Alabama with the same handle on all social media. Y'all tap in for the win. Appreciate you, man. DMV.
Yes, sir. All right, Ben. Where can the people find you?
Right.
Yeah. Find him on Twitter, and you can see his naughty list, and you can see his yes sir list. You know what I'm saying? Like
I got up there. Right before the draft comes out, my draft report. I got full evals on 493 prospects, man.
Wow.
It's not specific to the Cowboys. It's just eval on the player itself. It's good information, I think, to make some of your own determinations. It's a spreadsheet, real easy to use on a computer. Y'all could, if you wanted to, look out for that. It's free. It's just something I do, and this year I'm gonna share it. So,
absolutely, man. Y'all tapping with Ben and my guy E2. Where can they find you, E2?
Well, like he said, E2 Blue Entertainment. On all platforms. IG, on my IG, you see all my roller skating videos and all my glory doing that as well. Yeah, E2 Blue. That's where you can find me at.
All right, man. Look, this was excellent, man. We gotta do this again sometime. Landlord, bro. It's a long time coming. I gotta go over to your show next time or something like that. Look, I'm gonna go over there, kick my shoes off.
You welcome. You welcome.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With
Southern hospitality.
Trap stars over there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
E2, I've been watching you for a while too, man. I used to watch Mark way back, when he first started, and I used to see you on there, man. So
yeah, I remember you. I remember you from back even before you had your channel.
Yeah. I used to be in the comments. Yeah,
Landlord always had the best comments, bro.
I'm proud of your growth, brother. You've been out here grinding, doing the damn thing, man.
I appreciate it, man. I really do. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
DMV, real quick before we go, I want to appreciate you for having me on, man. I know I don't normally come out and do content stuff. This is all kind of new to me. So thanks for sticking with me through it. And I just appreciate you having me on, man. I'm a big fan of your work. I think you know ball, right? So I appreciate you, man.
No problem at all, man. I'm glad that I got to know you through the Twitter spaces. So shout out to my guy Nix, because without Nix, hey, this relationship wasn't possible. Shout out to Boss, because without Boss and what I'm saying, West Coast and all them, Landlord, we don't have this relationship here. And absolutely. E2, shout out to Mark, because Mark got us started. So like I said on the final word, we're starting to come together. We're starting to create a voice for the Cowboys to where it's actually going to create an impact. So as long as we stay together, man, a lot of things are possible. So appreciate everybody, man. I'm gonna put this outro video out and we're gonna head out, but I gotta find it first, man. Cause look, I'm sitting here. I was supposed to have it queued up, but we didn't got into the conversation so well that like I'm like, oh damn, I can't find it. But but yeah, I found it now, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Salute everybody, and we out.
I can't feel the pain, I'm numb to all you say. Keep it real and stay 100 through the rain. I can feel it's something missing from your face. So keep it real and stay 100 in your veins. Put me in these boxes, still I'm trying to break away. I just roll it up and down some liquor for my pain. Thoughts inside my head, it's nightmares instead of some dreams. I've been trying to hold on to everything from the seams. Try to get it by any means. It's no accepting defeat with all this pressure that's on me. Stressing whenever I breathe, cause everything is on me. If everybody is down, I gotta pick up all the pieces. Yeah, I can't fall, cause I do it for my dog, so she can make it fall. Ain't worry about your comments, cause I believe in karma. Time for your bullshit or any petty drama.